Sinamkele kwakho kwinkqubo yethu i-VOB Voice of the Bay. Good evening and welcome to your favorite talk show on channel 260. That is your Mpuma Kappa TV. My name is Percy M. Lamani. Kwinkqubo yethu ke yanamhlanje sabe sikunye nazo iinkokheli zemibutho liqela esawuthi sibe kade sijonga imiba eliqela yolawulo kumasipala Dombaxa kaMandela. Councillor Bill Harrington from Freedom Front Plus and Councillor Lance Grootboom from ACDP. Kanti ke kokhona sabe sikunye naye umhlekazi uDumisani Mbebe, yena ke oyenye ye-officials party office kaSpeaker. Kokuyena uChief Whip wombutho we-African National Congress, umhlekazi uWandisile Warajikeka. Hlala nathi ndibuya nazo iinkokheli ACDP and Freedom Front Plus. Siwele khona sinamkela kaloku kwinkqubo yethu i-VOB Voice of the Bay. As I have said that tonight I'm hosting two councillors from ACDP and Freedom Front Plus. For ACDP is Councillor Lance Grootboom and for Freedom Front Plus is Councillor Bill Harrington. Both of these councillors have signed a petition of no confidence against the executive mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality, the deputy executive mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality, lastly, and the chief whip of the ANC in the council. Guys, good evening and welcome. Councillor, let's.
Good evening, Percy, and it's always nice to be back here on your show. ACDP is really looking forward to chat to your viewers.
Thank you very much. You are welcome. Councillor Bill Harrington.
Thanks, Percy, for having us here. Yes, it's my first time here, and I'm glad that I can have also a platform to express our concerns, not just as a party, but also as a coalition.
Yes.
That we formed recently.
And thank you very much for making time to Councillor Bill Harrington. Both councillors have returned to the Speaker's Council using Rule 25 of Council's Rules of Order. Am I correct, Chief?
That's correct.
That's correct. You have returned to the office of the Speaker, putting forward your motion of no confidence against the three top executive members. Can you just tell us what motivated you to submit this motion?
Percy, recently we've signed a coalition agreement, and the coalition agreement was signed by various parties like the ACDP, Freedom Front, DA, AIC, AIM, PAC, and UDM. We all signed the agreement and we agreed to remove the ANC from power. We realized after our discussions and after signing our agreement that we need the support of other role players that has the same goal as us, to remove the ANC from power. The intention is not to remove other smaller parties that form part of that coalition, but it was to remove the ANC. So we knew that we did not have the numbers to do so, because we wanted to draft a petition motion, which is different from the ordinary one that I've submitted in terms of Rule 25. The petition one will allow you to have signatures of 50 plus 1, 51%. So that will be 61 councillors signing it to call a meeting.
So currently you are still 56?
Yeah. So we were 56, so we did not get the support because there were certain requirements or certain things that were said by the other parties that were going to support us. And it was more focused on the Democratic Alliance for them to engage. For example, like EFF, saying that they would like to hear the Democratic Alliance coming to them in the same way that the Democratic Alliance came to the Freedom Front, the ACDP, and all the other partners, just to hear what is the plans and what do they want to achieve. So they specifically wanted that the economic freedom fighters from the DA. Obviously, there was a stalemate there, and somehow the DA never engaged with the EFF. And when I say we, Freedom Front and the ACDP decided we can't wait that long because the city is going backwards. Service deliveries are not taking place.
So that is the main reason.
No, that's not the main reason. Remember, the city's a mess.
Yeah.
There's no meetings being called currently. No meetings. Mayoral committees are not sitting. So there's no decisions really made from the executive. So there's instability. Even the MEC noticed it. And the MEC wants to intervene. But the MEC is coming from the ANC. So it shows you that the leadership of the ANC is poor in managing the coalition. So we can't afford that our city that is now so dirty, we are in a water crisis and nothing has been done. We couldn't wait now for the DA to go and talk to the EFF. Our city is going backwards as we speak, and at the same time we have the MEC trying to intervene and change our mayoral system or our governing system. So we decided that we're going to move because the good thing about the motion in terms of 25, once it's tabled once it's submitted and it matures after 10 days, it has to find expression within a council agenda. When it's there, then it needs to be entertained.
Let's give an opportunity to Councillor Bill Harrington. Councillor Bill Harrington, some of the reasons that you have stated in your motion, you spoke of instability within the municipality, lack of service delivery, again, in the Nelson Mandela Bay municipality. But you are targeting 3 people: mayor, deputy executive mayor, and the chief whip. But seemingly you don't say anything about the MMC because they are the ones who are responsible for service delivery. Why?
Percy, coming back to the instability firstly is created by the ANC in their own coalition at this stage. With the smaller parties represented on the MMC seats, they do not see eye to eye with the ANC mayor and so forth. So the instability starts there, and unfortunately it goes over to the administrative side as well. There is a political will. Let me start there. There is definitely a political will from the majority of represented parties in council to service or to deliver services. So much that with even in the ANC party themselves, 2-3 weeks back, 10 ANC councillors barged into a mayoral meeting demanding that she attend services in wards. So yes, that is creating the disarray and also the decay.
My question, why are you not mentioning in your petition when you talk of service delivery, these people are working collectively. When you talk of service delivery, there are NMMCs involved as political heads of each and every department. It's not ANC alone. Why are you targeting these 3 people?
Yes, I wouldn't say targeting or attacking, the word that you used. It is to remove the ANC. They are the representatives of the ANC.
So in that collision, you are targeting the ANC.
That's correct, because the ANC shows a lack of leadership. They are, firstly, it's you get your MACO system, whereby the mayor is the head of that committee. And the MMCs must report to her. She must demand and also hold meetings to get feedback on certain aspects which they are supposed to do. So if the leadership of the ANC fails in that, it is then plainly and mainly the instability and also the lack of leadership that portrays and comes through from the ANC side to manage and govern this metro. And
Possibly also coming to add what Bill is saying. Remember, this is not just now. It's from the 1st of November. Since the mayor took power, and remember, she's the first citizen. She's the leader. She's leading the pack. ANC has 48 seats, so they are led by the ANC, those smaller parties, that's a part of that. So the leadership comes from since then. The city has been going backwards. We had a water crisis with a lot of things happening. She telling our people to use jig. And then there is a lot of other issues. There they burned for more than 2 weeks, 15 trucks, where the attention of the residents of Motherwell was wanting them to give us electricity. She was on a golf course. The same happening in Rocklands for 2-3 days. People were frustrated with water, sewage. She's somewhere else on a soccer match. So she attends sport stuff where she's supposed to be, where there's issues, service delivery. She's supposed to speak to the MMCs and say, Lawrence Struan, what are you doing? She reports, not the MMC. The MMC is not the one who reports. We have an executive mayor system. The executive mayor is responsible for the directorate, not the MMC. She appointed him so that he can do executive oversight. But once that is lacking, she takes over. The same thing happened, Percy, with Trollop. When Bobani was removed from public health, Trollop went in there as a mayor to oversee that, to make sure that services are taking place. That is the powers of the mayor. Look now, she's doing the same thing now. She took over infrastructure engineering. Why? Because there's a vacuum there with the Northern Alliance. So
unfortunately, Councillor Lansford, we have to go for a commercial break. Masifale ke siye ngasevenkileni sabuya ke kwakho kwanayo inkqubo yethu i-VOB Voice of the Bay.
Uthando lukhanya njengenkanyezi ebusuku.
Ngabona kwami nami ngidinga uthando yabo.
Uzokhipha into.
Imali lento enganayo ndazama ngazo eziswitezo. These days angilali, akulaleki noma hlakhiwe.
Siza kodwa bengifuna yena ngitshela kuqala.
Ezingekhayisen ke zisitya ngeChristmas qha.
Onzo khona maintainer.
Ukulo futhi wamatamatisi ngimboneka iwani.
Ukuthi it might be ukuthi siphelele umthando.
Brand new for the action lovers. Watch Daniel Craig perform a host of wild stunts in his last outing as James Bond.
James Bond. Life is all about getting something.
James, you don't know what this is.
You're right. Past isn't it?
Tune in to Mnet and Mnet Movies 2 from the 3rd of July, especially if you're a fan of SWAT on Universal or Avengement on Studio Universal. Watch more of what you love with DSTV.
Welcome back once again. You are still watching your talk show, that is your VOB, Voice of the Bay, with myself, Percy M. Lamani. I'm still with my guest, Councillor Lansford from ACDP and Councillor Bill Harrington from Freedom Front Plus. Once again, welcome, Councillors.
Thank you.
You were just explaining something that just before we go for a commercial break. Continue with your explanation and then we will take it from there.
Yes, like I've explained, Percy, is that we have a mayoral system and that powers are delegated from council to the mayor. She's responsible. And she's responsible to lead the city. She's not doing that. And that's why we are removing her. Because we have to have a strong leader there that can take the city forward, and we don't have that.
So you are saying the mayor is not equal to the job?
No, from the beginning. In fact, she's incompetent. She can't do the job. We can see how the way she speaks, you can see she doesn't understand what's going on. She doesn't even know what's going on.
Who is behind all his office?
Listen, I don't
When you
know.
are saying she can't speak, she can't even do A, B, and C, who do you think is behind the mayor?
But I think, especially the question that you should ask is, she's a deployee of somebody, and she's a deployee of the ANC. So you have ANC that has 48 seats in council. Somehow, you need to get guidance. Remember, the ANC has not
Does
been
she
in government.
listen to the ANC?
That's why if the ANC can see she's incompetent, they should remove her.
But the ANC doesn't see that.
Now that's why I say it lays squarely on the ANC, it's their representative that's there. And that representative is messing up every day, and they're allowing it.
Just before we proceed, I'm very much interested in this issue of service delivery, Councillor Bill Harrington. There are a number of MMCs that are coming from other political parties from this coalition that is led by the ANC. Which MMC do you think doesn't do what is expected from him? Just give me 3 councillors. Because always we are pointing, you are blaming the mayor, the deputy, and the chief.
Well, look at the stage, you know.
Let's evaluate some of the MMCs that you have signed a coalition with.
Look at this stage, you know, if we're looking from the sideline. So yes, it's a blanket. It's all of the MMCs. Because they're not performing because all the departments lack in service deliveries.
But we are prepared to work in this new government that you are proposing.
Because
we are prepared to work with the people who are not competent for their jobs.
Exactly. We've been in positions of
we are
know-how.
prepared to work with UDM, Councillor Namete, who is not competent
It's management.
to do the job.
It's management skills. And how to manage people and how to drive people.
You
But
are also
mostly
prepared to work with Councillor Buyeye, who is also incompetent for the job.
Instability is the reason because there's no accountability. As a coalition, new coalition government, we will hold ourselves accountable as well as those that needs to perform and give service deliveries. There's no accountability in the current government.
Okay, let's leave that part. But I'm afraid of time. Let's look at the response from the Speaker's office about your motion of no confidence. Did you get the correspondence?
I definitely
that states that the proposed date, it won't be an appropriate one to sit for this motion.
Sure.
What is your reaction?
Percy, the motion that we submitted didn't give a date. There's no date on that motion.
But you wanted to sit for this motion towards the end of August.
Percy, this is a motion in terms of Rule 25. Rule 25 says, in fact, when you remove a incumbent or a political office bearer like a mayor or a deputy mayor or even a chief whip, you have to give that person 10 days prior notice. The law says that and the rules. So you need to, that's what we call the cooling off period. So when I submitted that motion, the motion says that, and it says it expressly in the motion, that 10 days notice, prior notice, work, and it says work business days should comply with. What it means, I never gave a date. What I did say in the motion is that whether a special council meeting or an ordinary council meeting, as long as the 10 days has been in compliance, that means the day when we submitted it on the 18th, 10 days run up until it ends on the 31st of August. But because the rule says after 10 days, we can't entertain it on the 31st of August, we have to entertain it on the 1st of September. It means that the motion then matures on the 1st of September, making it viable or legal to be included in the agenda in any meeting after the 1st of September.
Are you withdrawing now this motion?
No, it's not withdrawal. It wasn't submitted for this council meeting because it doesn't comply in terms of the rules. We never intended it to be in the council meeting, this one. We intended to be in the council meeting thereafter. Hence, Mr. Mbebe has to consider that because we are complying. On the next council meeting after this one, it must be in the agenda.
So you agree with them that this item, it won't make part of the council meeting for this coming week?
But I disagree. We never expected that. Mr. Mbebe's office did not understand it. Whoever advised him poorly. I think they did not understand the motion. In fact, they didn't read it in its context and understood it in that way. If they understood their own rules and understand what I was saying in the motion, they would have known that that motion matures on the 1st of September.
Councillor Bill Harrington, what do you want to say?
Look, obviously, I mean, the motion is there. It's straightforward. They interpreted it and they wanted it to fail. We are aware of the Rule 25, that it must mature in 10 days, and only after then we will be able to have a council meeting on that. So we were quite surprised to receive a mail from Mr. Mbebe's office, which I also have a problem. It is not an official's duty to make a decision or give a verdict that a motion is not competent.
So literally, you expect this item to make part or to be included in the first council in the month of September.
In the first council after this council
After
meeting
this
of
coming
the-
council. So you expect this?
Yeah.
But did you listen to Julius Malema on the 23rd of August in the media briefing, where he mentioned that as EFF they are not willing to assist in the removal of the ANC in this municipality?
But see, one thing I can tell you, that the EFF here, like Nelson Mandela Bay, is resolute in moving the ANC. A lot of their councillors, they are struggling under this mayorship of the ANC. They want to remove. And one thing you must understand, there are ANC councillors that once are removed. ANC councillors.
No, I'm talking
That's
about,
what we- I'm talking
about Julius Malema, because you are both 56. The kingmakers is EFF, and yet Julius Malema stated in that media briefing that if the ANC wants to remain in power, they must remove this executive man. And the EFF is not prepared to talk to
Zilla.
Democrat or Mama Helen Zille.
Look, the thing is, it's not a coin flip. As Councillor Grootbrom stated, yes, hence we're sitting with 56, and everyone says that the casting vote will be from the EFF. Yes, it would be nice to have their support, very honestly. But there is so many other councillors, even as he said in the ANC, that wants this government to change. The MEC, when he visited us, he also stated that the current system is not working and that there must be either a new coalition forming government or a Section 12 government.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say is then, what Julius Malema said is then that he will not support the DA, but he will support the ANC. Hence, if there is not a mayor from the ANC, they will abscond.
It's a pity, guys. I am running out of time, but surely after this council meeting, I will call you again. I will invite you again before the first council meeting in September, the one that we are targeting, both of you.
Then we can take stock.
I still remember when you signed that coalition agreement, you are placed as MMMC for electricity. I can't remember you.
Chief Whip.
Chief Whip.
You want to be a chief whip?
No, not I want to. I am going to be the Chief Whip.
You are going to be a chief whip.
Correct.
That's what you are targeting.
That's what I'm targeting.
You are a new kid on the block.
We might be a new kid on the block, but we're the 5th biggest party in South Africa.
So
depending from
you want
us.
to be a chief whip.
That's correct.
Guys, thank you very much for making time. Siyabulela kakhulu, enkosi kakhulu, Khade.
Ngiyabonga ntate.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, man.
Kwelo hlobo ke nodliwa nondlebe lwethu lufikelela esiphelweni. Iqinisekile ke into yokuba siza kuba kunye kwakho kwixesha elizayo la kufikela uthuba lalo council meeting. Igama lam nguPercy Kalamani. Kodwa ke emveni nje kwevekile siza kubiza umhlekazi uMbebe opha kwi-office